Hey guys, it's Mike with another King Arthur Legends Rise video after the reset. Coming in a little late. I got home late last night. I was pretty tired. I had to go straight to bed. I did jump in the game briefly just to get my stamina accruing and all that good jazz, but I didn't really do a whole lot. So we got all the red dots to chase down, get all the rewards on the account, check out the update, and then kind of see what's going on for the next 2 weeks. So let's get into it. All right, so over the announcement and the updates, we got our patch notes as usual. We got new events. The Flame Relic for Lagertha, Scorched Oak, has come into the game on the raid up summons. It has come in on the summons for relics that we don't have any tokens for. So as far as I understand, the only way to get this is crystals, which I think is a pretty big miss, but we're going to take a closer look at that and see if I'm overlooking something. But we are getting the relic in the game, which is kind of fun. I think it's cool that it's a new and different thing. But that being said, it's kind of like a third of a character, so it does feel a little bit lackluster for something to go after for 2 weeks, especially considering the only way to get it is crystals, where it's, I mean, I think that that's just kind of a, I don't know, it just kind of feels weird. But it's a new and different thing. It's something new coming into the game. So you got to kind of give them kudos for trying new things as far as keeping it fresh and interesting. We'll have to see how it plays out and whether or not it's something that we would be excited to see in the future or not. I do think there would be other kind of cooler ways to introduce these relics that have been left behind on some of these champions into the game, as far as, you know, like getting one of the relics when you finish your castle to level 20, or some of these long-term goals where it would be give you more of an incentive to press your account along in different ways. But anyways, I digress. So we got the new relic coming into the game. We got the relic engraving event going on, clan activities, raid bounty, favored dungeon, raid up relics. So a lot of kind of standard event. Looks like we do a power up event. I was like, are we getting a dungeon for a relic? That'd be kind of cool, I guess, but I don't think we are getting an actual dungeon. But see, that'd be a great opportunity to put a dungeon in, and inside there you earn the tokens you need to summon the relic. And then throughout all of these events, if you got, 3 to 5, 5 to 10 on all these different events as you went through it, you'd get your 60 that you needed to summon the relic without having to spend crystals. And then if you wanted to go for the extra enhancements, you could do that with crystals or try to buy more of those units or whatever the case is. But without having those actual summoning stones in the game, it just seems like it's a little bit early, I guess would be the best way to put it. Got some new packs coming to the game as far as different things. Armor sale packs, we'll have to take a peek in there, see if there's anything worthwhile. Typically what I'm looking for in here is when those 1,500 crystals for 40 pieces 6-star gear come in. I'm definitely going to be trying to pick those up the best I can, but we'll take a peek and see what we got and what kind of values are going on there. Improvements and changes. We got adds legendary hero Lagertha to the list of heroes and specials. So she's getting moved into the special summons, so you can add her to your wish list if you'd like to. She is a fantastic champion, so depending on where your chivalry is with her, I can very much make sense to get her up to at least chivalry level 5. That opens up her entire kit, and then it's just a matter of stats on top of that, but getting those extra few chivalries does open up her kit quite a bit. Then they did some bug fixes here, as well as they're doing a balance adjustment to Nika. It seems like it might be a nerf, but you've got the at the start of battle, she was healing every ally 20% of her max HP. Now it's going to be 30%, which is actually better. But we're moving the hit accuracy increase for 2 turns into Spirit Art for 2 turns. So I got to take a look at Spirit Art and find out what that even is. If it includes hit accuracy, that's pretty good. But I mean, ultimately you're getting a bigger heal, but it is at the start of battle where typically you have full health coming into a battle anyway, so I don't know that it's really going to be a huge benefit. Alright, so I am actually mistaken. This is actually going to be a buff, not a nerf. So at currently you're getting hit accuracy increase 2 for 2 turns. And now they're changing that to the Spirit Art. And Spirit Art increases hit accuracy by 40%, which I believe is the same amount that's going on here, but you are getting an extra 10% due to that. So that's going to be going on for 2 turns as well. So that's just going to be a little more healing coming out of the gate. And I think they're just renaming hit accuracy increase to Spirit Art is really what's going on there. And then as we move into the Chivalry tiered 1 here, we're going to be moving from the skill effect of Spirit Art Blessing, which was just doing the critical strike resistance increase. Now it's going to include the hit accuracy. It kind of seems like they're just renaming it. So you have the Spirit Art is just the hit accuracy 2, and then Spirit Art Blessing is the Spirit Art plus the blessing of the critical strike resistance, whereas it just previously just said critical strike resistance. So I don't know what's going on there. It sounds like the only change that's actually taking place is we're moving from 20% to 30% on the healing there. From the best I can tell. Then they also did add Aqua Guinevere's relic into the game. It doesn't seem like, because Aqua Guinevere is one of the special champions that may or may not come back under, when they might come back or whatever the case is. But they did put her relic in the game, so that is going to be available for summoning, as well as they added Lagartha's Frost relic that she comes with, so you can start enhancing that if you want to. But that pretty much caps out all of the updates that we got going on in the game for this reset. But let's get back into the game and start chasing some red dots and see all the rewards we got. So first one I want to check out is the Forbidden Dungeon. It was the first time that I've actually beaten the Forbidden Dungeon on hard. And then the first time I've ranked top 10 on normal as well. So in this guy here, we got 10 of these memory stones, which is pretty solid. So these are the chests to craft gear pieces here, equipment set. And then here you have the equipment to help, craft forge. The keepsake, so some stuff that we need there. We also have some relics, we'll get those pulled, see what we got some good crystals and tokens as well. That's all on the normal mode. Move over to hard mode, and I guess that was all of it. That was everything. So that was including what we did on hard mode. It doesn't really tell you what you got for being in what place and all that good stuff, so that's kind of interesting, but that's all right. So I mean, I don't remember getting that many of the memory stones, which I think is going to be a big win for my account, because I do have quite a few characters that I need to work on chivalries on, specifically the characters that I can't pull because I used all my memory stones on Hild basically to get her all the way up to chivalry level 10. So that was not a bad move. I'm very pleased with my Hild at chivalry level 10. But those master memory stones really should kind of go towards characters that you're not able to summon. That way you can get their chivalries up as well. So your Revenant Merlin, your Aqua Guinevere, as well as, who was the other one? Was it Lagartha? I think it was Lagartha was the other one that is not going into the summoning pool at some point in time. If we head over to Hall of Conquerors and start collecting those red dots, we did pretty well there. So we are getting, on the Blazing Gorgos, we got 88 hearts at the end of it. We got a few more running through there with my Chivalry level 10 Hild. I finally got her to stay alive the entire time. I did have to swap a piece of gear out on Merlin to make him more defensive, but we did step up quite a bit, so we got some pretty good goodies there. 750 stamina is amazing. We get to play the game. We got some selector chests there, so we can get some more chivalries going on there. Also got some tomes and some talismans. Good rubies, raid ups, a couple summons there for each of the relics, so that's a pretty good win there for Blazing Gorgos. On Thrym, we ended up getting to level 72, so we're going to get these guys on the account. 500 stamina. Again, got some good stuff there. We didn't get any of the relic summons though, so you kind of get those a little later, I guess. Trying to help out with getting all those guys enhanced. And then I was able to finally get Talos up. We got 3 extra hearts, got all the way up to level 62. So that was a big win. I was trying to get to 60. I kept falling at 59. It was just brutal. But we got some raid up summons there, some selector chests, a lot of goodies there. We got a lot of stamina to go through. And then I'm pretty sure we made it in the top 10 again, so that is perfect. We're going to grab up those guys, which gives us, I believe, 8 of the Storm Relics. So if I'm able to make it in top 10 this time, I believe, let's see what the rewards are. Are we still doing Storm? Yes, we are. So if I can make it in the top 10 this time, I should be able to actually get Caliburn Arthur's Storm Relic this season. So that'd be really exciting if I had that in 7 days. So I'll have to be pushing towards that. All the teams are pretty much going to be the same. Just got to do the moving of gear and get everybody dialed in the way that I want, and see if we can press on in the same way. Maybe get a few extra hearts in areas where I can push my my characters a little further. Dang, so we got 1,800 stamina going on the account right now. It'd probably be, I'd kind of go between farming for pieces of forging materials, like getting some vigor sets and stuff of that nature. But honestly, I'm going to go for some gold right now. It's a fast run for me, as well as I can always use more gold. I'm moving through it so fast, and I even need the experience at this point. So we're going to go ahead. Let's do, I guess we'll do like 1,000. We'll do 1,000 there, and get through that, get some gold on the account, get some experience, and then maybe we'll move over into Origin of Apolia and get some of those mythic moons on the account so we can forge some vigor sets. But I'll get all that dialed in, and I'll bring you back when I'm back to accruing some stamina. All right, we went through quite a few staminas there, got back to accruing, so we're going to jump back into it, see what we got going on here, get these guys dialed in. We did finish up level 20 on the lumberyard and the steel mill. We got this guy here going on with the Relic Forge as well as the Mage's Tower. And as far as I know, that's it. Then we are completely done upgrading everything. So it looks like we got these little X's. We can't accumulate anything because we are over our limits. Let's go in here, see what we can dismantle. We got a lot of stuff there. We'll select all that, dismantle it. I dismantle everything 5-star and less. And then on these guys, I go into all my 6-star gear as well and grab the flat stats that are no good. So this is going to be a flat stat piece here, HP. Yeah, so that's going to have it there. I wish there was a way to set the sorting up, because right now if you come in here, it's just leaving it where I had it before, which had all the flat stats. So I want to come in here, get rid of all these guys, select that, dismantle. Then we're going to go back in there to the filter and hit the 6-star, then go back to main stats and turn all those back on, and those two pieces are going to pop up. So we'll select those and dismantle. So you know, you kind of working through, but hopefully we've got some pieces on the account we can use. But ultimately we're really looking for the pieces to forge vigor, just because the gear sets that are available in Apolia really aren't that great. The life I do use occasionally just for healers, get some HP up and whatnot, but outside of that, not the best place to spend your stamina unless you're specifically looking to forge some vigor set. If we head over to the events and take a peek at what's going on, we got the Relic release event for Lagertha, to just test skills and so forth. We'll take a peek at the Relic and see what's going on there as well. On this, we have the Flame Relic power up. So assuming you get the Flame Relic and then you level it all the way up to 60, you're going to get some goodies in here. Actually, let's take a peek and see what kind of goodies you're getting. So, I mean, there are some pretty good things going on in there, but nothing super crazy. And then on the enhancement side of things, you got some legendary tomes. You actually have some extra copies of it as you move up, so it'll help you with further advancement. If you get it to stage 3, you're going to get stage 4 automatically, which is pretty cool. And then if you get to stage 6, you'll get stage 7 automatically. But there are some good stuff, some good things going on in there, and then ultimately you can get a legendary relic there. So it's not bad, but the amount of resources it's going to take, you got 1,500, which is going to help you summon more copies of it along the way, but it's going to take 9,000 crystals to get your first copy, assuming you hit pity. And it'll cost you 9,000 crystals for every additional copy after that, and there's no other way to get it in the game, which I think is the miss. Summer Festival, what do we got going on here? Our mission is to use stamina. I've done a lot of that. Let's see where we're at. We probably already finished it. We're at 2,100. We got a little ways to go. We'll collect all that stuff, see what's going on. Got some relic summons, some special summons, some more of these guys. 2 million gold. We'll take that all day long. Let's get back to the top, see what else we got. So we got quite a bit of gold left on the table once we get to 8,000. And we're well on our way so far, so that's pretty cool. So using the rate up relic summons, you are going to get extra summons along the way. So by spending the 1,500 crystals, you can kind of move through this. So every 10 you pull, assuming you pull 60 to get the flame relic on the account, you're going to end up right here, which again is going to be 9,000 crystals to pull 60 of those rate up summons, at least if they're the same price as the other ones. If you do go all the way to 120, you get all the goodies available here, but that's 18,000 crystals, which is kind of expensive. So we got the dimensional rift thing going on again as far as the engraving event. Get some of these guys just getting some engraving material, or engraving material? I thought it was enhancement material. Maybe it's engraving material on the account. get those confused, engraving and enhancements. And then clan activities, we got the participate in clan raids going on, so you just want to make sure you're in there, getting your little extra goodies along the way. Nothing super crazy. Start getting some summons at the end here, but nothing like super exciting in there, but it's all beneficial to the account, all helps you along. On the raid bounty this time, we're going to be doing clear favor dungeons, and we're getting wood and iron there, so probably not the best time to spend extra efforts in the favor dungeons unless you would prefer, unless you have to be there anyway and you're working on a champion. But when I typically participate in the raid bounties is when they have stamina in here, because you get all of the resources of participating in the favor dungeon at basically half price, because your stamina in here is paying you to go back in there and do more. So you're basically able to level up with at half the cost, which is kind of nice. Plus you get the armament stones, where you can get some more relic summons in there as well, so that's not the worst thing. But with everything else, it may not be the best place to put your stamina. So as we move over to the rate up summons here, we got the relic summon going on. Again, yeah, it is 1500 and pity is 60, so all standard things apply. So that is a little bit of a bummer. Here you're getting some tokens along the way, which is kind of nice. But my question for Netmarble is, if I have rate up summons right now, I can't even summon them? Like, that's pretty weird. Like, I just am going to accrue rate up summons. I don't have any opportunity to summon anything. Like, to me, doing a rate up banner, even if it's Hild or it's one of the older champions, something along those lines, at least there's some way I can summon those tokens. Like, right now, I don't even have that option, which is kind of weird. As well as it just feels a little incomplete without having those in there. But it is what it is. It is different and new, and for that I applaud them for trying something different and new. I go back and forth whether or not I like it or not. I feel like there would be more fun ways to introduce these relics into the game, and I think ultimately for me the biggest miss is there's no way for us to do this other than crystals. And so it just feels like there's an event missing or a dungeon missing or something where we can farm this material to pull so we have these summons available. So it just feels like this came out earlier than the summons, but I don't know that there's even talk or a goal of introducing a new summoning stone for these relics on the rate up relics. It might just be crystals is all they're planning to do, but I do think it's a miss. Let's jump into the item box, see what we can get on the account today. We got 15 randos going on here, so let's see what we get in the random department. Got a little bit of everything, splash of everything going on there. Got some Hild tokens, which are, unfortunately, now we got to save these up to 100 so we can summon it, so we can sell it, because we're already at Chivalry level 10. But that is going on in there. Let's see if we can get a little bit lucky on some relic pulls here. We did not, but we got a bunch of rares going on in there, so not too bad here. This one we're going to have to get really lucky. I actually have gotten a legendary out of one of those, which was pretty amazing, actually. So it was kind of surprising as far as that goes. Here we're hoping for some rares. We didn't get any, so that's okay. Let's get over into Lake Avalon. We'll summon these guys. Can't even summon these if we wanted to. And there's no pity system attached to it. There's nothing. Those are just going to sit there and get bigger and bigger. So I guess in 2 weeks we'll be ready to tackle the next champion, assuming there is one, which would be pretty good. But we'll get these special summons going as well. So let's start us off with that Storm Relic there. We were 60 away from pity. We got 110 pulls. We're not guaranteed anything, but we can hope for the best. Let's see if we've been on our best behavior. We got a rare coming in. That's about it. I think we do have a 10 pull with Frost as well as Flame going on in there, so that's not too shabby. But we are starting to upgrade some of these. You can see these 2% across the board. Here's a 4%, so we're starting to kind of get things moving in the right direction. Eventually, it will take a while. We will get all those guys topped off to the full upgrade, which I think is going to be 20%. From there, we can start selling them back and start accumulating some of those legendaries. Probably makes sense to actually sell those ahead of time and only keep the relics you're actually using, but the collector in me just wants it to be 100%. So I'm going for it. We're going to get it done. It's going to take a while, but when we get there, we'll be happy that we did it. So we got some 2 more rares on the account there. Again, stacking those guys up. We have a lot of upgrades we could do, so I'm going to have to get in there and do that at some point in the near future. But we'll get these flames on the account here as well. Hey, we're getting pity. I think we were 18 away. I didn't even look. I get so distracted, but we're getting a legendary. I don't think we hit pity, so that's pretty exciting. So we got 1 legendary right there, And let's see who it is. It is going to be Morgan. So we already have this on a 4%. So this will take us up to 6% for Morgan. She's not a damage dealer, but she does do a little bit of damage, and she's got that manipulation of turn meter on the Flame Relic. So she does it on all of them with her passive, but she has the active ability on her A2 with the Flame Relic that does a little more turn meter manipulation. So this is a relic I use a lot, so getting extra affinity damage going on there is going to be a pretty big win. We don't have any normal summons, special relic summons. They don't have these in the game. It's kind of weird. They got the raid up specials. I guess this is the elevated version of that, but we don't have the thing. We don't have the thing, so we're going to go ahead and pull 30 of these guys. Our wish list is dialed in. We're hoping to get all of those guys up to Chivalry level 8, and then we can move on. 53 away from Pity, so hopefully we don't need to go all the way there, but we're not going to make it today either way. But we got 30 on the docket, so let's see if we can get lucky. Got a couple extra rares on that one there. See who we got. We got Accolone, we got Turin and Anguish. See if we get a little luckier with this pull here. Hopefully we see some gold. No, not that time. On that one, we got a Cormac, fantastic rare champion. We will complete this out for that 150 crystals for that last special summons. And we're not getting lucky this time, so that's okay. We got that Flame Relic and the Legendary, 2 back-to-back with a single rare is a little brutal. Another Accolone though, but that's pretty good. We'll take that. And we'll press on. So on those, we'll go sell those in, exchange them out for 507 tokens. That'll help us get all of our rate up summons every day. And then on the relics, we're not selling those because we don't have anything maxed out yet. On the relics in here, we've got Merlin's Flame Relic, fantastic relic. We can't really accumulate these right now just because I'm upgrading all the relics, which I think is part of the reason that's kind of a bad move. But once they're back to 100% like they were when I just initially got the first copy, then we'll be able to sell all those extra relics back in here, and the account will be in a really good spot. We also got Lancelot's Frost Relic in here, which is a little frustrating. I was waiting for that forever. I finally pulled it, and then they put it in here for me. Revenant Merlin down here, as well as Gillian's Flame. So got some stuff on there, but I don't have enough tokens to buy anything anyway. I think at this point in my shop career, I would be looking to get 52,000 on the account and buying any relic that I do not have. I think would be the move for me, but seeing I don't have 52,000 of these guys here, it doesn't much matter. But I would like to get all the relics on my account before I get the other ones maxed out. Now, if there was a relic that I needed, such as Lancelot's Frost Relic, what I would do is I'd go in here on the exchange and where are we at here? I think all the way at the bottom we're going to find some rare. There we go. I'd go into here and I would say, all right, well, if I look at a champion such as Nika's Frost Relic, Nika's not going to get extra elemental damage with her Frost Relic specifically because her A3 only heals, it doesn't even hit. I might sell this to get the 10,000 tokens to get me that Lancelot Frost Relic. So there's different pieces of that puzzle where you can kind of weigh in and say, hey, you know, this champion, like Charlotte, I don't use her anywhere. She's kind of a trash champion. So that would be one that I'd probably be willing to sell. Potentially Morgan, just because she's not a damage dealer, even though I did upgrade her already. But it's like, hey, you know, that may not be something I do, or maybe for whatever reason I don't use, or it's Frost Relic and I only use her Flame, or vice versa. Then it might be something also to look into. But we are sitting on 8 of those Caliber and Arthur Storm Relics, and we've got 7 of the Frost. So hopefully, if I can make it in the top 10, we'll be getting that relic on the account at the end of the week. And then eventually, once you get your chivalries dialed in where you're not buying these characters frequently, I would be picking up these guys. But I think that's going to be a pretty in-game account situation where you're trying to stack up these master memory stones. But the cost basis for these is half as good as buying the legendary here, because you can get 10 of them for the same price as a legendary. So if there's legendaries that fall in here that will get your chivalries up, that'll be the way to go. This would be if you're like only getting new champions with the rate up summons every time they launch a new champion. You're not getting chivalries over here. It's pointless to buy anything. This would be when you're getting that at twice as expensive, but as soon as that rate up champion pops in there, you might have 20 or 40 of these waiting to go and get 2 or 3 chivalries on that champion right away, which would be kind of cool, help you out so you don't have to stack up quite as many rate up summons. But even jumping over into these achievements, like this would be a cool spot, like when you completely finish the power up, maybe throw in a copy of one of those relics that aren't aren't in the game yet, when you completely finish main story or something along those lines. Maybe you get 5 relics on each of them or something along those lines, where you have that long-term goal where you're like, hey, I'm gonna go focus like on this power up. I don't even know what I'm working on right now. Got to level up relics. So that's going to happen, you know, over time. Hero Awakening will happen over time. But if I were that close to getting something I thought was going to change my account, I might spend some time in here saying, oh, I could get 48 Hero Awakenings going on. Let me go into some of my common, uncommon characters and just start, you know, leveling them up and get that dialed in and knocked out. And so that would be something that you could work through. On the main story, win story battles, well, we got 5,000. I'm on 7 of 18. Oh my gosh. Apparently I don't spend very much time in main story. I should do more farming there. I do the 10 they ask for every day. But that seems like a lot. I got another 1,000 to go just to get to level 8. I got 10 levels after that. So story mode's got some headway to make on that one. I've been falling way behind on that. Hall of Conquerors. So yeah, but just going through here and just kind of taking a peek at what's going on. And then if there was that carrot at the end, like here, a boss enemy's defeated, I am way down. I got a long ways to go there. I'm getting pretty close to finishing out the monsters defeated. But that's one of those where you can go into certain levels that have a lot more monsters plus a boss and start stacking that up with the same chivalry. That'd be pretty good. That being said, I don't know if like stage 8-7 Sigrun is technically the boss. I don't know if she counts as a boss for this boss fight, or if it's specifically looking at Gorgos or the dragons or Pinvid or stuff like that. But it seems like this is a pretty tall order, considering I'm still 15 levels away from maxing that out, and everything else in this category is already finished. So you know, maybe some balancing could take place here in Netmarble. You can take a peek at what's going on there. I'm almost 8 months into the game, and pretty far away from some of that stuff. But let's take a peek at Lagertha's Flame Relic to see if it's even worth pulling for if you have 9,000 crystals to go for it. So on the A1, we got enemy attack damage 56%, pretty standard. 100% chance to heal the ally with the lowest HP by 8.7% of her max HP. If we compare that to the Frost, that is actually the same exact ability, so there's no change there. On the A2, for the Flame Relic, we are looking at 100% chance to heal 7.5%, 100% chance to grant crit rate 2 for 2 turns, 100% chance to grant each ally debuff immunity for 2 turns. If we compare that to the A2 here, we got crit rate 2, debuff immunity, healing 7.5%. So again, there is no change in those abilities. So that's going to be the exact same ability both times. As we move over to the A3, this is on the Frost Relic here. We got 19% heal. Then we get hit accuracy for 2 turns, and Bull Favorite allies only pierce increase for 2 turns, and then the recovery disruption. Moving over to the Flame Relic, we're getting the 19% heal. We're getting the hit accuracy for 2 turns, and the Bull Favors pierce for 2 turns. But we're not getting the heal disruption. So ultimately on the Frost Relic, we're getting all the same thing. The pierce is only for 1 turn, and we get the recovery disruption on each enemy extends it for 1 turn. So we're getting 1 turn of extension for recovery disruption, and then 1 turn on pierce. Whereas on the Flame, you get the pierce for 2 turns, but not the recovery disruption. The hit accuracy is the same. Is it both hit accuracy and Bull Favor? Yeah. So I mean, to be honest, like, they overlap so much that I don't know that it's really a benefit, other than just having the affinity change, where it's like, hey, if you're going up against a storm enemy, having the Flame of Lagertha would be a benefit. But outside of that, I don't know that it's really worth spending 9,000 crystals on. As far as Lagertha, she does do a great job allowing your folks to do a little more damage. But that being said, I mean, ultimately she's a healer, and Nika comes with her Flame Relic. So if you need an affinity healer, then Nika and the Flame is probably going to do a great job for you. But she's not going to hit these buffs of hit accuracy and the Bull Favor Pierce specifically, I think, is what really kind of sets that aside. But then you have to build other champions specifically that are Bull Favored that use that Pierce to actually do some damage. But again, she's going to do that with her Frost Relic. It just may not be the right affinity matchup. So as we look over at the special offers, really not a lot going on here. They're kind of sticking true to this beach theme, which is kind of lame. But yeah, there's not really a whole lot going on in here. Usually there's like a long list of these things, but even like event and packages, like everything seems pretty lackluster as far as that goes. And then you have the rate up event going on there, but yeah, not too much to write home about in that area. So just kind of going over some final thoughts. Like obviously every time the reset comes around, there's a lot of stuff to do. We got the clan war going on right now. We also have the Coliseum you're trying to push up through, as well as obviously Forbidden Dungeon, all that resets. So you got to make your way up the Dimensional Rift, Hall of Conquerors. All of that stuff is new. In the sense of starting from scratch, not new as far as content, but we're going to be pressing on in those spaces. But outside of those normal things that are happening right now, I got to be honest and say this update kind of feels pretty lackluster. I mean, at the end of the day, if you don't have 9,000 crystals, there's not really a whole lot for you to do at all. So it's kind of 2 weeks off on growing your account. So that being said, like I gotta feel like this event, I do applaud them for trying something new and different, but I think it kind of misses the mark, especially on the relic side of things. Like the relic is basically the exact same relic with a very subtle change. Getting the pierce on for 2 turns is a benefit. Don't get me wrong, like it is a benefit, but it's not that different. Like getting pierce on for 2 turns will increase your damage and help you out. And you probably keep it on more frequently than not. I forget what the cooldown was on it or whatever, but you're probably putting it on fairly frequently, so there's only one hit that you're not having pierce on. But at the same point in time, having it every other turn isn't that bad either. So it just kind of seems like if that relic was doing some more specific differences or something that fit a different need, maybe it would be worthwhile. But even if it's worthwhile, like it's not like you can, I mean, short of going and buying crystals, you can't farm them. You can't go, like, what are you going to do to get more crystals on your account? So if you're like, hey, I really want to press this on and get this, they get this relic on my account, I'm going to go figure out how to get 9,000 crystals. How are you going to do it? You know, like you're going to go through your Forbidden Dungeon, you're going to get the crystals that are available to you, and which are during reset, there's going to be a lot of crystals available to you, but getting to 9,000 is going to be quite an uphill battle, and then it's whether or not it's even worth it. Like to me, I'd rather hold on to these for a rate up champion, or potentially if any of those gear packs come back in, 1,500 rubies or crystals a piece, and you're getting 40 pieces of 6-star gear. Like that's going to enhance your account way more than the Flame Relic is for Lagartha. So I don't think it's really the value is there. But that maybe that's just me. Let me know what you think as far as what this event is bringing for you and whether or not you're working on anything specifically. I will say sometimes it is nice to have a little bit of a lull just so you can go into your accounts and kind of really focus on the champions you've been working on, or maybe some that you've been kind of neglecting because you've been stretched thin building other characters, like such as Vala. I put a lot of my resources into Vala getting her chivalry level 7 out of the gate, but now all of my champions that have these extra chivalries haven't been leveled up to their maximum level because I haven't had resources to go into Gorgos and stuff of that nature. So maybe this is what the 2 weeks is all about for me. I'm going in there and getting all my champions leveled up to their max level and trying to build up some chivalries on specific champions, and then really work on those Hall of Conqueror teams and see if I can get even more hearts than last time. Really focus on getting in the top 10. Essentially, that's going to be what I'm looking to do. I'd like to go ahead, blaze through all Forbidden Dungeon and get that beat again to prove I can do it more than once. It wasn't a fluke. So hopefully that shouldn't weigh me down too much. Try to probably get through Dimensional Rift and actually get all 15 levels completed this time would be pretty cool. But I don't know that I have the gear on my account and the chivalry specifically on my characters to get it done. But we'll find out. We'll kind of put a little more effort into it. But this 2 weeks almost feels like a little bit of a vacation in the game. Kind of go through the motions. Even with the events going on, there's nothing super exciting here that's going to get me, focus on a specific task for the next 2 weeks other than things I just mentioned. But that's about what I got for you guys today. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me all the way to the end. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please do so. It means the world to me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.